I'm Chris Hansen, right now on Crime Watch Daily.
A trusted teacher turns predator.
How many times did you have sex with the student?
A few hundred times.
She was 24. He was only 17.
You called him baby kicks, and he called you his empress.
Yes.
Busted, shamed, and fired. Now working as a stripper.
I never want to see him again.
But is their torrid affair really over? Where we just caught the forbidden lover.
You know she's breaking the law by seeing you?
Then, a troubling mystery in Kansas City. A woman is missing, her car torched, and the last man she was seen with is under arrest. Now, we reveal his scary past. His ex-girlfriend is missing too.
She basically explained to him that she didn't want to be with him anymore. Then he said he kind of just freaked out.
Crime Watch Daily breaks news on this developing story.
Plus, she was an all-American girl.
She loved life, and she lived it to the fullest.
They were your typical teenagers in love, but something dark was lurking underneath.
As police started calling friends and family, everyone brought up a common theme.
When one of them disappears, a neighbor helps crack the case.
They thought they saw an arm sticking out of this bundle of blankets.
Right now,
Andrea Isom, sir, with Crime Watch Daily.
Jason Matera with Crime Watch Daily.
this
Michelle from Crime Watch Daily.
Anna Garcia from Crime Watch.
is Crime Watch Daily.
Stay off my property.
We'll find you again. We always do.
Hey everyone, welcome to Crime Watch Daily. I'm Chris Hansen. We start with a headline-making national epidemic. Teachers being busted for having sex with their students. Most of the time, these suspects do their best to crawl into a hole after they're arrested. That is not the case when it comes to Beth Haglin. Today, our Jason Matera is confronting the outspoken teacher on her forbidden love.
Chris, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, a small town with a population barely big enough to fill the Los Angeles Coliseum, is now at the center of a salacious sex scandal. A 24-year-old beautiful substitute teacher at this high school admits to hooking up with one of the students, having sex with him more than 100 times. Beth Haglin is a pretty teacher who always wanted to instruct children. But within just months of achieving her goal, Beth threw it all away by giving one student some very private lessons. How many times did you have sex with the student?
It was, I can't even count, perhaps a few hundred times.
Now she's telling her side of the story to Crime Watch Daily. The 24-year-old had a bright future. With a degree in English and Spanish, she was awarded the prestigious Fulbright Scholarship. After graduating, Beth became a substitute teacher. And when you started to teach, how did that make you feel?
I enjoyed it so much. With subbing, it's a little bit different because you never know what kind of situation you're getting into, especially if it's day-to-day subbing.
The situation Beth got herself into, a taboo relationship with the 17-year-old high school student. How did you meet the student?
This particular student was in my class when I was a student teacher. He was a good student, and I always like to reconnect with my better students.
But to say Beth reconnected was an understatement. The young teacher who rotated among different schools one day found herself back at the place where she and the student first met.
He saw me again at Washington High School subbing one day. He came in to say hi, and I welcomed that.
But that chat in the classroom quickly turned from innocent to indecent. And more than that, downright illegal.
He contacted me on Facebook. He was very persistent in his contact. He kept asking me to go to coffee or to go to lunch or just, hi, how are you? Why won't you answer me?
Beth claims that at the time she was in an abusive relationship with her then boyfriend. One night, after what she calls a particularly horrible episode with her ex, she reached out for comfort from her soon-to-be teenage lover. When was the first time you had sexual contact with the student?
We had gone to a corn maze in a neighboring town. and we went to Beaver Park, which was kind of our hangout spot. We sat in his parked car, and he started kissing me, and he started touching me.
After their first encounter, 24-year-old Mary Beth says she and her student are confronted by police as they sat in the car.
Did it ever cross your mind, wow, oh my gosh, I just royally screwed myself?
Well, to be honest, I didn't have much time to think that because the police actually interrupted us. They thought that I was being raped. I just said, no, this was consensual, because it was.
Right after the police incident, the forbidden relationship heated up even more. Mary Beth and her teen dream boy rendezvousing for dinner in nearby towns, places they wouldn't be recognized, hooking up at his mom's house when she wasn't home, and of course at Beaver Park in their mobile love shack, the boy's car.
Most teachers want to be positive role models for their students. One of the reasons why they get into the profession of teaching. But your vehicle to be that positive role model and shape this kid was to have sex with him?
You have to remember that when this was all happening, I didn't see him as a student. I saw this as a real relationship.
And like many couples, they had pet names for each other.
He would call me his Empress. He would call me his Lobster, because lobsters mate for life.
So you called him Baby Kicks, and he called you his Empress?
Yes.
The saucy sub sent sexy selfies to her underage lover. But the romance began to unravel when Mary Beth says he betrayed her and shared the racy snaps with his friends.
I sent him a lot, and he saved all of them. And then he shared them with all of his friends, and they posted them on Twitter. Mark my words, when this student turns 18, I will be prosecuting for sharing all of those nude photos.
The provocative photos spread like wildfire, their secret relationship exposed. Mary Beth says the kids at school were relentless.
They would interrupt class to ask about it.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Interrupt class and say what?
Come on, Miss Haglin, we know that this is the student.
The dangerous liaison was spiraling out of control. Mary Beth claimed she wanted to end it, but was terrified that her young lover would retaliate and tell the school principal. Eventually, word about her extracurricular activities got back to school administrators, but she says they ignored the rumors, and so she continued to carry on her relationship with the high school boy.
And that may be true, but you're not blaming the school for your having sex with the student.
Oh, certainly not.
But with her photos flooding social media, the school finally took action.
How did you finally get busted?
The administration called me down into their office. They started to interrogate me, and by the end, the principal said, well, in light of everything, we are going to ask you to pack up everything, any personal items that you have upstairs, and please leave.
Mary Beth was fired from her job, but continued to substitute teach in other school districts. Allegedly, because of a miscommunication, she was not removed from the available teacher list, an oversight Mary Beth disputes.
It was not a miscommunication that I was still in the system. Washington high school staff did not let the substitute system know why I should not be in the system.
And the district never reported her to authorities or pressed criminal charges. Crime Watch Daily contacted the school for a comment, but they never returned our calls.
He said, don't worry, we're gonna get through this. Whether we have to leave town and go to Minnesota or New York or heck, even another country.
And what's racing through your mind?
I'm busted.
Up next, the torrid affair. Mary Beth comes face to face with the law. And you'll never guess where the former teacher is working.
Hey, come here.
What's up?
Or should we talk to you as Bambi? Which one?
Let me
Bambi or Mary Beth?
Crime Watch Daily tracks her down and finds a shocking surprise.
Now back to today's Crime Watch Daily investigation, Forbidden Love. Mary Beth Haglin can't stop gushing about the guy she loves. The problem is, she was his teacher and he was only 17. The state forbid them from seeing each other, but our Jason Matera busted them getting back together.
A pretty teacher and a 17-year-old student engage in naughty after-school activities. The sexcapade secretly sizzled for 9 months and included racy love letters.
I love the way you smell like pizza after a long day of work, and it drives me crazy wanting a piece of the crust.
Their main rendezvous spot, the teenager's car at a local park.
Do you consider yourself a sexual predator?
I don't. That was a time in my life that was just so out of character for me, and I wholly regret my actions and just the person that I was at that time. But anybody who knows me can tell you that that's not who I am.
But the illicit relationship comes to a grinding halt when 24-year-old Mary Beth Haglin is busted.
What does your family think of this entire ordeal?
My dad cried, and my mother yelled at me. They were not happy.
After her teen lover's mom goes to police and files a report, the substitute teacher turns herself in.
Do you think you were in love with the student?
In my mind, I was. We certainly said it often enough to each other.
Do you love him today?
No. I never want to see him again.
So once he turns 18, you're not planning on contacting him?
Not at all.
Here's Mary Beth in her mugshot, looking plain Jane, wearing specs and a little smirk. Very different from the girl in those selfies. Made up with a dramatic cat eye, sticking her tongue out and pouting for the camera. Mary Beth pleaded not guilty, charged with sexual exploitation by a school employee. If convicted, she could face up to 2 years in prison and spend the next 10 on the sex offender registry.
Did you ever think that would be your life?
No. I thought that I was going to teach and that I was going to one day get married and have a family. I never thought that I was going to be rich or famous, and now I have infamy, one thing that I never wanted.
After Mary Beth was fired from her teaching job, she worked as a server at a local pizza joint and at a clothing store. But those gigs didn't last long.
Yesterday, I found out that one of my jobs isn't even going to let me return. They just said, nope, you can't come back at all.
What are you doing now?
I'm not working.
Well, she is working now, and look where we found her. Working the stripper pole at Woody's, a strip joint along a lonely highway just a few miles from the school where she used to teach. Take a look at this video that we've uncovered of the saucy former substitute teacher perched in a customer's lap and performing for much older pupils. And take a look at Mary Beth's other shocking video. This was shot just a few days after she told us she never wanted to see her forbidden lover again.
And it's only a few more weeks until my beloved turns 18. And then we can finally be together. I love you, my lobster.
So which is it? I'm not convinced the 24-year-old actually wants to end things with the student. So I went to Woody's to ask her myself. So we're outside Woody's, that's where Mary Beth works, and she is under a court order not to have any contact with the student or she goes back to jail. Guess what? We just saw the student go into Woody's. Are they breaking the law for love? My hunch was correct. There under fluorescent lights in the darkened club is Mary Beth, and for the first time seen on camera, her student. The couple locked in a deep conversation that lasted for about 30 minutes. But then the newly legal 18-year-old abruptly leaves. Could the two have had a lover's spat? I catch up with Mary Beth's boy toy as he leaves the club. What are you doing here at Woody's? You here to see Mary Beth?
My lawyer's name is Ann Brown. She works.
You know she's breaking the law by seeing you?
She works in Cedar Rapids. You can speak to my lawyer, Ann Brown.
Mary Beth is under a court order not to see you. She can go to jail.
I have no further comment.
No, you're a victim of a sex crime.
If you would like to discuss anything, you can speak with my lawyer, Ann Brown.
Did Mary Beth give you a lap dance?
Crime Watch Daily reached out to the student's lawyer, who responded no comment. Next up, Mary Beth, poured into a leopard bodysuit, exits the club. Hey, come here. Or should we talk to you as Bambi? Which one?
Let me
Bambi or Mary Beth? We know you're under a court order not to have any contact with, but he actually was inside today.
Yeah, he came in and he found me and he said that he wanted to come back at 2. And so I told him and I said, you need to walk me out because I don't want that to happen.
But soon a Woody's bouncer tries to boot us out.
We're closed, man. That's fine. We're not on your property, and there was a violation of a court order that just took place. So just let me finish the questions. You pleaded not guilty, but you admitted to having sex with this teenager over 100 times. Sounds guilty.
That's the way the court process works, to bring it down.
Don't worry, I've already interviewed Bambi. Any plans to meet up at Beaver Park, or is it that over?
But no.
No more Beaver Park.
No more Beaver Park, but
Is Woody's the new meetup spot?
it's not.
But here's why I don't fully believe you. Because after we did the interview with you, and I flat out asked you, are you still in love with him? Do you care for him? Do you plan to reconnect with him? You said no, you were repulsed. And then literally just a few days later, you say no, you were in love with him and you were calling him your lobster and saying that you guys were gonna rekindle things. How do you feel?
I don't know. It's very confusing. It's confusing because of all of those emotions that I had before, and I don't know how I'm supposed to feel now, and I don't want to feel that way. But
So let's say you didn't have a court order. Would you be with him?
I don't know.
Then Mary Beth, aka Bambi, is whisked off by Woody's bouncers.
Bambi, do you want to answer more?
Guess she's done for the night. But the questions are looming. What happens if the judge sees this video? Will she get sent back to the slammer? We do know one thing is for sure. If that happens, Mary Beth will be hanging up that G-string for a jailhouse jumpsuit.
If convicted, Haglin faces up to 2 years in prison for the sexual exploitation charge and could go on the state's sex offender registry for up to 10 years. Now, we want to hear from you. If you were this kid's parents, would you let him see Haglin now that he's 18? Tweet us your answer at Crime Watch Daily.
Coming up, 2 missing women, one thing in common. This man. His ex-girlfriend vanished years ago. Now why he's under arrest in another disturbing mystery. Plus, the rodeo queen and her high school boyfriend. The picture of young love until...
Deputies, in their process of investigating, they talked to a neighbor who says that they saw something disturbing.
That's coming up.
Now to a breaking story out of Missouri. A young woman is missing. Kylr Yust has just been taken into custody. And it's not the first time our Andrea Isom has investigated him. Andrea is in Kansas City right now. Hey, Andrea.
That is right, Chris. Kylr has been questioned extensively about the disappearance of his ex-girlfriend, Kara Kopetsky, but he has never been charged. Now, on the same day our story aired about Kara, another young woman has gone missing. And according to family, Kylr was the last person to be seen with her.
A 21-year-old girl disappears. Her car is found abandoned and torched on the side of the road. And as of just a few days ago, the last person she was seen with alive, Kylr Yust, was placed under arrest. But for what? You may not know his face now, but to our regular Crime Watch Daily viewers, he may look familiar. Several months ago, we brought you the story of missing Missouri teen Kara Kopetsky.
I don't even believe that Kara is a missing person. I believe she was murdered.
She was last seen in this surveillance video leaving her school just hours before she vanished.
That kid loved me, and I loved her, and we were a family.
It was only a few days after Kara had filed a protection order against her abusive on-again, off-again boyfriend, the man who had not long before that abducted her from work and threatened to slit her throat. The same man police arrested just days ago, Kylr Yust. It was Wednesday of last week, September 7th, when just before going to bed, 21-year-old Raymore, Missouri resident Jessica Runions sent this simple text to her mom, "Sweet dreams." After that, a picture of herself and her cat Tig. it would be their last communication. The next day, Thursday, September 8th, the same day our story about Kara Kopetsky aired, Jessica was seen at a party with Kylr Yust. No one has seen her since.
Always a sweet girl, always cared a lot about folks, always wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Friday, Jessica's mom filed a missing persons report with police, then started reaching out to her daughter's friends. In this desperate text to another boy who was at the party, she writes, "Please, if you know where I can find my daughter, let me know. I filed a missing persons report. I need to know she is okay." And with the boy's response, Jessica's mom gets her first clue. "I'm sorry, I don't," he says. She left with Kylr. For Kara Kopetsky's parents, talking to our affiliate WDAF just a few days ago, it feels like more than just a coincidence.
We heard about Jessica's disappearance first thing Saturday morning, and it was through Facebook. And, you know, as you're sitting and you're talking to your family and your friends, because of course everybody's running up to you and saying, "Hey, did you hear Kylr is involved in another girl's disappearance?"
When you learned that your daughter's ex-boyfriend was linked to him,
I knew immediately that it wasn't a good thing.
In the aftermath of Kara's disappearance, a whole lot of suspicious eyes started turning toward Kylr. And some, like his old friend Caitlin Ferris, even told us he went as far as to confess to Kara's murder.
She basically explained to him that she didn't want to be with him anymore. Then he said he kind of just freaked out. Things got a little physical, and the next thing he knew is she wasn't breathing.
And because he trusted you, do you trust that he's telling you the truth?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Caitlin wasn't even the only one making those claims. In this recording made by private detective Marlene Rockwell, another one of Kylr's ex-girlfriends goes into even more detail.
In her interview, she describes to me what he did to her and also what he did to Kara Kopetsky.
One word to describe what we will hear is what?
Hideous.
He's admitted to it to me. He told me he killed her. And he said, "I've seen girls' faces turn purple. Have you ever seen the life leave someone's eyes?" And I got really scared at that point.
But without any physical evidence, police were not confident enough they could get a conviction.
I want the family to get some type of resolution, but at the same time, I want it the right way. Whoever did this, I will get charged someday, and when that charge gets filed, it will stick. I promise.
But it's been nearly 10 years since Kara walked out those high school doors, and her case remains unsolved.
One thing I really do pray about is that some night her parents will be able to lay down and know where their daughter's at.
Unfortunately, now there's another family ending their days without their daughter. Friends and family tell police that they know about Kylr and release this poster, which shows Jessica's face and her black Chevy Equinox. But then, just before 2 Saturday morning,
yeah, that vehicle, a black Chevy Equinox, was found behind me here just off of Blue River Road.
authorities find the charred remains of Jessica's car, and soon after that, they find who they think torched it. Kylr Yust was arrested just this past Sunday for knowingly burning the vehicle and is currently being held on a $50,000 cash bond.
Thankfully, they've found enough evidence to lock him up for at least the burning of the car, and they can grill him for information, and hopefully he'll break and he will tell anything he knows about Jessica, and for us, hopefully he'll break and give up some information about Kara as well.
To date, Jessica is still missing.
Police continue to search for her. She's 21 years old. Her disappearance is considered by the police to be a suspicious missing persons case.
A spokesman for the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office has declined to comment on the matter for now, telling other media outlets, quote, "The case is now under seal." For now, just as Kara Kopetsky's friends and family have done for years, those who know Jessica search desperately for any sign of the girl they love. But then, as we started looking back through our own investigation into Kara's disappearance, we noticed something odd. Months ago, before his arrest, our own Andrea Isom tracked Kylr down to his grandfather's house to ask him about Kara. What we had no way of knowing then was who else may have been there.
Hello, how are you?
Next on Crime Watch Daily.
Do you think he killed her?
No! We're on the scene at Kylr's when...
Excuse me, ma'am. Is there something you can help us with?
Who else was in that house?
We're with a show called Crime Watch Daily.
Friend, if he is, that's it.
We're back now with more on the troubling story of Jessica Runions, a Kansas City woman who just disappeared. It turns out the last man she was seen with, Kylr Yust, is connected to another headline-making missing persons case. Andrea Isom has all new details.
Crime Watch Daily brought you the tragic story of Kara Kopetsky, a girl who walked out the doors of her high school and disappeared forever.
I'm sorry.
Speaking to our affiliate, WDAF, just days ago, Kara's mom says she still suspects Kara's ex-boyfriend, Kylr Yust, in that case.
Well, I've told people over and over and over again if I had to bet my life on him being responsible for my daughter's disappearance, I would.
And yet, Kylr has never been charged with anything in connection with Kara's vanishing. But he is in jail now, a person of interest in another girl's disappearance.
If he is charged, what do you think should happen to him?
I mean, I definitely think he needs to rot in jail, that's for sure. He needs to have some sort of consequences for both of these cases now.
21-year-old Jessica Runions was last seen leaving a party with Yust in her black Chevy Equinox, a car cops found charred and abandoned on the side of the road a few days later. Kylr was arrested for knowingly burning that vehicle. But there was something else about that car, something that suddenly jarred my memory. It was just a few months ago when we tracked Kylr Yust down to his grandfather's house to ask him about Kara. And oddly enough, as I walked up, I remember seeing this car in the driveway, a black Chevy Equinox. Thinking nothing of it at the time, I tried to get Kylr to come to the door, instead, getting his granddad. Hello, how are you? My name is Andrea Isom. I'm with a show called Crime Watch Daily. We are working on a case about Kara Kopetsky, his ex-girlfriend. I'm with a show called Crime Watch Daily. We're trying to help police get some answers so we can give the family some closure and some resolution to this.
Hey, he's been with the police 20 times. He can talk to them. He has nothing else to offer because he has knows nothing about it.
But his denial does little to console her stepdad, Jim.
One of her last phone calls was with her boyfriend, and it was like a 20-minute conversation. I think he picked her up. I think they talked, discussed whatever about moving on, and I think that he didn't want to let Kara go.
You truly believe in your heart of hearts that he did something horrible and criminal to your daughter?
Yes.
When I pressed Kylr's grandpa on that accusation, he had this to say. If he had something to do with this, what would that do to you as his grandfather?
It would hurt me. But
do you think he killed her?
No.
No. And you can say that 100%, Grandpa. Yes. It was a dramatic moment, but there was another. One we could not have known the significance of then. As I was trying to get Kylr to come down, a young woman briefly came to the door. Hello. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Is there something you can help us with?
No,
we're with a show called Crime Watch Daily.
Friend, if he is, that's it.
So who was that girl? With a car in the driveway, matching the same make and model as Jessica's. Our producers were curious enough to share that information with police. And they have expressed interest in looking into it further. We'll keep you updated over the coming days as this story continues to develop.
I really hope it turns out for the best. You know, I really hope that Jessica is found safe and that the Kopetsky family gets some justice.
But for now, two families wait for answers, and a community clings to hope.
You've been in touch with Jessica's mom. Explain how that went.
Sunday morning, She had reached out to me with her phone number asking me to call her because she really felt like she needed to talk to somebody that would understand how she felt.
What did you say?
I called her and I said, "Hi, this is Rhonda Beckford. I'm Kylr Kopetsky's mother." And she said, "Oh, thank you so much for calling." Because when you're in this situation, nobody understands how you feel but another person with a missing child.
Two families feeling a pain today that no family should ever feel. And right now it's time for you to help them heal. If you have any information on the disappearance of Jessica Runions or Kylr Kopetsky, you can leave a tip anonymously at crimewatchdaily.com.
Coming up, she had a passion for animals.
We gave her a pony, and then she started taking lessons, and she's ridden ever since.
But this rodeo queen also fell head over heels for this guy.
During her senior year, she started dating Tanner Flores.
The bad romance that led to a desperate search. Next.
All right, now a story we followed very closely here at Crime Watch Daily.
A high school romance, a rodeo queen, and a terrible tragedy.
Here's Pat Lalama.
Ashley Doolittle beamed as she stood next to her boyfriend, Tanner Flores. The high school seniors headed to prom. 1 month later, it would be a different story. From an early age, Ashley had a passion for animals.
Her 5-year-old birthday, we gave her a pony, and then she started taking lessons, and she's ridden ever since.
To help foster that love of horses, Ashley's family would build a ranch just for her.
She loved it out here. She loved the sunsets. They were her life.
And the 18-year-old's life was one success story after another. She was president of the local chapter of the Future Farmers of America. She had just graduated high school and earned a scholarship to attend Colorado State's famed veterinary school in the fall. And maybe the biggest thing in her life, the accomplished rider was about to become the Boulder County Fair rodeo queen.
She loved life, and she lived it to the fullest.
During her senior year, she started dating Tanner Flores.
KDVR's Kylr Yust followed Ashley's case.
And the two were a very typical high school couple, young love, if you will, taking pictures at dances and posting those pictures all over social media.
One of those from the night of the homecoming dance with the caption, "You know you're lucky when you find someone who makes you happy and get to call them yours." Flash forward 1 year later, Ashley wasn't happy anymore, and she told Tanner it was over. Days later, she would vanish.
She said, "I love you," and I said, "I love you" back, and that was the last time we talked.
Ashley's frantic mother calls Larimer County sheriffs to report her missing. Then they go out looking for the teen and find her car at a local reservoir, but there was no sign of Ashley. Where was she?
As police started their investigation, they started calling friends and family, and a common theme seemed to be that everyone brought up her ex-boyfriend, Tanner, that he had recently been depressed about the two breaking up. And some of his friends even talked about a Snapchat that he had just posted that they thought was suicidal in nature.
Even more worrisome, Flores was also missing, and so was the .22 caliber revolver from his dad's gun cabinet. Detectives ping the teenager's cell phones and pinpoint a location, the vacant home of Tanner's late grandfather.
Deputies, in their process of investigating, they talked to a neighbor who says that they saw something disturbing. They apparently saw Tanner pulling what appeared to be a bundle of blankets out of the back of a truck. And they said that when he set this bundle of blankets down on the ground, they even thought they saw an arm sticking out of this bundle of blankets.
SWAT deputies move in and make an arrest. Tanner is put in cuffs. A body, which would later be ID'd as Ashley's, is discovered in the back of the truck. Ashley's family and friends are crushed.
If I could hug her one more time, so.
According to police documents, Flores admits to detectives to shooting Ashley in the head twice because he was angry with her. A tragic end to a life that had so much to offer.
We just see her in everything we do out here. It's hard to look at this every day. I know she would have wanted us to move forward and to stay here. This was her, and she's, she's living in everything here.
Flores is currently in jail being held without bond. He's facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree kidnapping. Prosecutors have yet to announce if he will face the death penalty. Coming up, we break a shocking new headline in the JohnBenét Ramsey case.
Do you believe it's still possible to figure out whose DNA that is on JohnBenét?
Yes.
That's next.
All right, now the JohnBenét Ramsey story you won't see anywhere else. A DNA expert who's looked extensively into the Ramsey case says he believes he knows how to find the killer, but no one will listen. Our Anna Garcia is challenging him on his shocking new claim.
Chris, I've come here to Denver to meet with a DNA expert who says he has new explosive information that could change the Ramsey case. Do you believe it's still possible to figure out whose DNA that is on JohnBenét?
I'm absolutely certain.
And yet, at least for now, this is a story without an end.
911 emergency. We need him. Police, we are kidnapping. Hurry, please.
Just hours after the frantic 911 call, John Ramsey would find his daughter's body wrapped in a blanket in the basement. Suspicion quickly turned to the parents, and in 1999, a team of prosecutors, including Mitch Morrissey, was brought in from Denver to help assist with a grand jury investigation that ended with a vote to indict John and Patsy for their daughter's death. But Boulder DA Alex Hunter didn't think there was enough evidence to go to trial. What work did you do on the JohnBenét Ramsey case?
We advised the district attorney's office and the police about touch DNA.
Tell me what touch DNA is.
Touch DNA actually is DNA which is transferred when somebody touches a person.
The Boulder PD has denied Eichenbaum did any work on the case, and ultimately they used another lab to do the analysis that cleared the Ramseys. But Richard remains adamant he advised, and what's more, he says no one listened.
What went wrong is that they stopped too early. They were getting somewhere with the DNA inside the panties and on the long johns. They should have gone further with that.
So why not reopen it and retest the DNA with the new technology?
That's my idea.
So why isn't anyone letting him? Just over a week ago, a Denver judge barred Eichenbaum from testifying at a trial, calling his credentials and experience into question. Then Denver's district attorney, one Mitch Morrissey, sat down with our affiliate, KDVR.
This is a dangerous thing he does, and he needed to be exposed.
Yeah, that's complete nonsense.
Richard says these new claims are not only ridiculous, they're personal. So why do you think it's so personal?
It started with JohnBenét Ramsey. Mr. Morrissey was going after the parents. The touch DNA could prove him wrong, and actually his own Denver laboratory already proved him wrong.
Now I know he's saying it was our fault, but it was a judge that ruled this, not us.
Still, Richard stands by his statements, and 20 years after JohnBenét's tragic death, there is at least one person who is convinced that justice could be just over the horizon. So you believe that the information is still in that DNA, and we may very well be able to find out who her killer was, or killers?
Yes, I'm sure of it.